Hey, and welcome to my channel. My name is Taryn, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about myself. First things first, why is this something that I am doing? To be honest, I've wanted to do voice work for as long as I can remember, really, because I always liked, as a kid, mimicking sounds. And I mean everyday sounds, toaster popping up, bell going off, stuff like that. Unfortunately, I have lost some of that ability, but I can still pick up new sounds and mimic those. So that's always fun. I wanted to do some voice Foley because I always thought that was kind of cool. As for regular voice work, obviously I can do voices. I can pick up just about any dialect. My goodness. I've got like raw talent, but I've got no training. I live in the American heartland, in the Midwest, in the heartland. So it's like the Midwest, the actual Midwest, where all the corn and the cows and the wheat are. And it's not like Illinois, who has Chicago, and there's also not the Midwest. So take that. Kidding, obviously. So getting training here really wasn't a thing as I was growing up in the 90s and 2000s. My closest bet would have been in California. I've got some family out there. Maybe I could have bummed around with them, but I didn't really like my prospects, so I kind of just kept doing it as like a hobby, something that I just enjoy doing. But it's kind of been one of those things that, as the years have gone on, internet has become more prevalent. People are doing all kinds of crazy creative stuff on YouTube and on their blogs, and it's like just renaissance, really, of digital artistry. And I have, over the years, kind of felt like a pressure of getting back into it, and actually ended up really liking this video game called Baldur's Gate 3. Don't know if you heard of it. Yeah, might have. And one of the voice actors is Neil Newbon. Amazing man. That guy has such an amazing body of work. It's like I'm a fan of his body of work, and he seems like an alright person. So I'm afraid of I'm a fan of the vibes that he gives off that are chill. He doesn't like have any weirdo vibes. If I don't want it to seem like I only like this part of him, but he seems like a freak. No, Neil Newbon seems like really like cool and down to earth. Would I love to meet him? No, because I would be screaming in my head the entire time, oh my god, it's Neil Newbon. Cool dude. The voice actors slash voice artists, I believe, is what the ones who were doing the mocap for the characters along with doing the voices. Some of them like to call themselves that. But I mean, I think it's cool. Either way, obviously, there's acting that's involved. And so that's like the base of it. And I appreciate the talent that Larian pulled together. They did amazing work. I no longer I don't make any content or anything for that game anymore. Just I've moved on. I do still follow Neil Newbon, of course. Watches Twitch with Tom. Poor Tom. It's hilarious. They're doing a Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough. I think they just got to Act 3 after like 2 years of doing this. Or what feels like 2 years. It probably feels like a lifetime to poor Tom. Alright. Enough fangirling. So, the reason I want to do this is I've always had an interest in it. Acting has always been fun to me. I did some stuff in junior high and high school. Unfortunately, I didn't pursue acting really even as like a career choice, just because, what are the chances that someone from my neck of the woods is gonna be able to do it again? Because we do have some stars from this area. But anyway, and man, I don't know if it's like a midlife crisis or what, but this year's kind of been like extra heavy on me for a number of reasons. That thing that I mentioned in the intro, if you listen to it, is about, me having a health problem that could kill me, in a relatively soonish timeline. And by soonish, I mean, it could be instant. It could like go right now and I could just like freaking fall over and die. And right now I'm in the process of meeting with doctors to determine what we could do. But basically I've got about the size of a pea. I saw the CT scans of it, but it's a nodule in my brain, and it's causing an increase in pressure. So obviously bad. But in January of this year, my drama director from high school passed away. And that hit me a lot harder than I thought it would, like, I don't know. I mean, I would talk to him every once in a while, but I was no longer like in the acting scene, so I was kind of like, not like a huge part of his life after graduating from high school, obviously. So when he passed away and it hit me like a ton of bricks, I was like, oh, yes, there's something a little different. Is it my age, perhaps, that's causing this? And by that time, when he passed, I actually, one of my friends, he was in a really bad motorcycle accident before Christmas of last year. And so he'd been on my mind a lot too. Unfortunately, he did also pass away. He passed away in May, after like 4.5 months of trying to get him back. And he hit me really hard when he died, because he was getting to, I mean, his career was like rocketing. Like he's a published author. He's published several books. I've got a few of them. Pretty good, in my opinion. He was a horror writer mainly. Horror is not really my genre, but, he's my friend, so I check out some of his stuff. And he wrote horror movie scripts. He had a film company that had just put out a movie that he'd actually been touring around, and it had all sorts of awards. And then he was gone. And that's, I think death really is hard for most human beings. But I'm not a fan of it. I never have been. Because it takes away the people I care about. And then my great uncle died. Sorry, I'm laughing just it's a nervous habit that I have, or when I'm trying to like not burst into tears. But then my uncle died about a month and a half after my friend died. And this uncle, he lived in another state. But man, when he came into town, it was great. But stuff like that, while it weighs on me, I have to put my head up and keep going. So yeah, I mean, it could be a midlife crisis thing. It could be the fact that I've had 3 deaths in my life, just within like the last 7 months. I mean, it kind of started at the beginning of the year in January, and then just kept going from there. So anyway, as for the channel itself, I do hope to have a schedule by the end of August. Basically, if I'm gonna do weekly, bi-weekly, that's it's every 2 weeks, not twice a week. How long I'll make videos, depending on the update schedule. If I do like bi-weekly, and I can pump out like hour and a half of reading some document from the public domain, that'd be cool. So it basically is just a big old test of what the schedule is gonna be like for updating and such. I will be reading from my Kindle Paperwhite. This is not sponsored by anyone, so just know. But I've got bad eyesight. I have an astigmatism. That's one word. Astigmatism, one word, and both of my eyes. You can have it in one or the other, or both. I'm an overachiever. I went with both. So that's pretty much everything I think you need to know about myself and what my plans are here for the channel. I do very much so appreciate you taking the time to listen to this. I know it's a little long. Not everyone's into long form stuff. However, I'm gonna be like reading documents, so you can expect long stuff. So, alright. Once again, thank you for bearing with me to the end. Let's forge ahead together, yeah? Alright. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.